Hi and welcome to breath.net.au. My name's Bren Murphy. I'm a personal coach specialising in healing, finding your spiritual self and recovering from past episodes in your life. My main reason for starting breath.net.au is that I've encountered a lot of people I talk with who are finding it the opportunity to speak to someone who is not invested in their life, who has is a few steps away, not emotionally involved, doesn't have anything to gain or to lose or an agenda to impress on them, is really good for them to speak and share their story. Just yesterday afternoon I was talking with a new client and she began exploring and sharing her story, and just to see her body language and her eyes light up as she framed her story in the context that she had been thinking it, and by putting it out there she actually gained an insight into herself just by saying it. And I didn't really have that much of a role other than being a neutral observer and being an attentive listener and just responding appropriately to keep her flow going, and just to share such powerful, her own insights into herself, what she was revealing. And then she'd answer her own questions and she'd go further and go down one path and go down another, and she'd come to these realizations just by talking about it. So it was really powerful to be there and to be a part of it, and I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to share that. But just as important was the idea that sharing in total confidence, knowing that I have nothing to gain or won't use the information that was vulnerable and was revealing at times against her or for anything else other than she has shared it. I've heard it before of other clients, and it's just part of the process. So to be not ashamed or not thinking that it's something you can't reveal, and just realizing that we're all humans and most of us have similar fears and dreams and passions and vulnerabilities, and by just sharing them out loud, it is such a powerful way to connect with yourself. Okay, so we talked for well over an hour, and after leaving the session I have reflected. I didn't take many notes, but I reflected on what we went through and some key points we came up with. And what I do as a personal coach is do my reflection as an MP3 file, and this one's about half an hour, and I email that back to her as a follow-up, so she can reflect on what in the ground we covered in the space between our next meeting. So that's a really powerful follow-up method that I do different to other personal coaches. I'll give you a response that you can listen to in your own time once I have my resources around me, and I can reflect on what went down, like usually 24 hours, 48 hours later. So that's a really powerful way to get my reflections on how I saw the conversation go without losing each other or losing the feeling. So that's now she'll have that to reflect on in the coming 4 to 6 days, and then we'll have our second session and we'll move forward from there. So, and by using that process, it means that our next session isn't starting midway through our previous session. It's so much more time efficient, because when we're talking we really want to keep the process focused on the client or on you being ready to reveal and being able to reveal, instead of pausing and going back over last time's progress. Okay, that's my personal coaching reflections at breath.net.au. My name's Bren Murphy. Thanks a lot.